I'm here again with another episode of your technologically inept foods teacher. Now today I'm using the basic sweet dough recipe that I demoed for you before, that you guys can still access the video of how to make the basic sweet dough, and that recipe is in your bank. But today I'm going to be shaping that dough into what I call the apple pie braid. So previously I've done the jam blossom, which is basically a dough that looks like a flower. Now I'm going to make my dough more into the shape of a sausage, because what I'm going to want to make is something that is about a rectangle that's about this big, okay? So when you're trying to roll out a rectangle, it's important to start in a sausage shape to begin with, right? So this is kind of how we get to that rectangle, right? And then so you start with the sausage shape, do a couple pushes down, and then start to roll long, lengthwise, okay? And from lengthwise we go out. So this dough was made and then it was rested for about 20 minutes. And then it's really important then when you're working with dough that your counters are clean and dry. Okay. Now, the apple pie braid. So I didn't demo the first part of this, which is basically making an apple pie filling. So basically you take a saute pan or a heavy bottom saucepan. So I've got a frying pan. I put maybe, this is about 6 apples, and I sauteed it in a little bit of margarine, and then I added white sugar and cinnamon. You could use brown sugar if you want. I prefer white sugar and cinnamon until the apples are cooked but slightly still firm, right? Because we're going to bake them again. So these are cooked but firm, and basically this is our filling. So now you're going to take your filling. First you're going to mark where your filling is going to go. My filling is going to go here. So your filling is going to go down the interior of this. Maybe I'm going to do a little wider. So score with your score. So scoring again is marking without actually cutting. This is where our filling is going to go, and basically here we're going to cut strips into our dough. All the way along, okay? Okay, so there should be, 11 cuts. So now what I'm going to do, you want to have the same on each side, right? The amount of strips. So basically you're going to take your apple pie filling, you're going to pop it right in the center here, okay?
He over salted it.
Yeah, he's not listening at all. Sorry. I'm at home with 3 children right now. It's hard to do a video without interruptions, so we're just going to do the best with what we have. All right. Okay, so I've got my apple pie filling. It's so good. I'm going to fill it up. Okay, so we've got it filled to the end. Now basically we're going to alternate one over the other like this all the way down to the bottom. So one over the other down to the bottom. One over the other down to the bottom. You're just alternating sides. So this one side holds on that side, this one holds on that side, and so on all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and again with this one I am going to use an oil wash. I just like it for this particular sweet dough. Okay, now once we have this all done, you want to pop it onto a prepared pan. So your pan is going to have parchment or a silpat on it, which is a silicone pad, and then basically what you can do is for this, the end is a little thick there. I'm just going to trim it off. You can trim your ends in nicely. Help it off the counter using your counter scraper. Pop it onto the pan, do an oil wash, and then you're just gonna bake probably for 20 minutes. But make sure you watch it 15 to 20 minutes, and what you're looking for is that it's getting golden brown all over. The oil wash is gonna give you a really nice golden brown product. I'll give you a 30-second YouTube video on what this comes out like, how it should look. And then if you want, you could put a little glaze on top of it. And a glaze is just simply a little bit of icing sugar, maybe 125, 175 mils of icing sugar with 15 to 20 mils of water and about a mil of vanilla. And you can just use the tip of a Ziploc bag, put the icing into a Ziploc bag and just drizzle it over top to finish it really nicely. Until next time, see ya.